So if you've been following my videos for long enough, you know how much I value education, particularly reading books and listening to audio programs, self-education really. Well, I've got a unique way of developing my library. I really see a library as a living, breathing organism in this way, that it's dynamic and it should not necessarily grow in size. See, a lot of brainiac types build bigger and bigger and bigger libraries thinking that perhaps by having more books they're going to be more intelligent. I really don't understand that. The way I look at it is the same way that you would prune a bonsai plant, right? You want to trim off the pieces that aren't going to support the growth or the bigger picture of what you're trying to develop, right? If you're pruning bushes, you don't just want it to grow anywhere it fucking grows, right? You want it to take on a particular form. And my library takes on a particular form by me constantly drawing in new ideas, but also getting rid of ideas that don't really capture the essence of what I'm trying to learn and what I ultimately want to pass on. I see that when I die, my library will be like a work of art. So there'll be certain books in there that capture the essence of particular ideas that I wanted to share with the world through these videos and with my children as I educate them. That means also that I get rid of a lot of shit. If I find that it's not a book that is fundamental in that way, it's not unique, it's a rehash of old shit that's been said before, or just doesn't align with my particular ideal, it gets chopped out. So as many books come into my library is as many that go out, and I try to make it nice and concise. With regard to strength training, bodybuilding, athletic endeavors, over the past several years, I've gotten rid of more books than I've held on to, and I really don't bring too many more into my library. But there are a few books that retain a very warm spot in my library. They will always be there, and I want to share a couple of those with you. And don't worry, I'll get to the announcement in a moment. Well, the very first thing, Dragon Door Publishing. If you haven't heard of Dragon Door Publishing or John Duquesne, you're really missing out, especially if you're looking to become the strongest version of yourself. John Duquesne is a really interesting dude. He's the founder and owner of Dragon Door, and he's highly into martial arts, which I think is so dope. He was a Tai Chi master. He studied with Osho, which if you've been following me long enough, you know I'm a big fan of. And he just has a very eclectic way and very fascinating, interesting way of putting together great authors to produce excellent content. And I invite you to check out all of Dragon Door's stuff. But there are two books in particular. You might be familiar with Pavol. A lot of people in our industry are. Pavol has become sort of a kettlebell expert in that way. And not expert necessarily, but like the guru. Really, he's popularized through Dragon Door. You know, with the help of Dragon Door, he popularized the kettlebell. And power to the people is a staple in every strength athlete and coach's library. It really should be. Part of the reason why I enjoy this book and all Dragon Door's book is because of the fascinating, entertaining way that they present. They always seem to present profound ideas. The books aren't very technical and scientific in a way that makes the author's big dick feel bigger. You know, it's not all ego gratification for the author. It's more of how can we serve the people reading the book so that they can grasp these concepts. And that's the way that, you know, the authors actually write, and that's the way Dragon Door publishes these books. So there's lots of pictures and there's lots of, you know, really cool like neural feedback loops. I've talked about this stuff before in a lot of my videos, and it's just, you know, and you'll see too that this book in particular is very thin. I tend to think the thicker the book is, the more bullshit is in there, or the more stuff you just don't need. All the history of it and all that crap. But Dragon Door has a really good job of being succinct in that way. Another one you gotta have, and another one that retains a warm spot in my library, is Easy Strength by Pavol and Dan John. Dan John is an incredible author because not only is he a great coach, but he has a great way of telling stories. He tells these awesome stories about the athletes that he's coached, so on and so forth. This is a book that's going to support you in developing strength training programs based on your ultimate goal in sport and bodybuilding, whatever the case may be. But just like the book says, Easy Strength, it's not a whole lot of complicated bullshit that makes the author feel good about himself. It's more about how can we serve the people reading the books. So I was really blown away a few years ago when Dragon Door brought on a brand new author by the name of Kavadlo. Al is a bodyweight calisthenics expert. The guy does some incredible feats out in the parks of New York City where he's like squatting with one leg on top of gymnastics bars. He does a whole lot of stuff with the rings over there. For a year ago when I started reading Al's first book, Rising Above the Bar, I was on those rings almost every single day. So some of you people were asking the other day in the comment section, why you got rings there, like you don't use them? Well, I was very fascinated with using them for a while. Still use them for chin-ups and stuff right now. But, you know, Al weighs like 150 pounds. I weigh like 250 pounds. Anyway, the point is that Al is a super strong badass with regard to bodyweight training. He's got a great book, but he also has one that just came out called Stretching Your Boundaries, right? And the reason why I'm so excited about showing you this book is because Al asked me, of all people, to write the foreword to his book. And I was actually quite blown away that a published author actually thought I was worthy of contributing to his book. I have never been published. No one ever comes to me for publishing. But that's okay because I make all these videos and this is just the way I express myself. But anyway, so this book, first of all, before I show you, I'm going to show you now. I'm too excited. So, just so you can see, I'm not bullshitting you. Forward by Elliott Hulse. You got a picture of Al looking sexy with his tattoos, and that guy right there. So proud. Mommy, take a picture. All right? My name in lights. The first time I'm in a published book. Pretty cool, right? But anyway, let me tell you how cool this fucking book is. Al is, what he's done is he's taken what is probably one of the most dogma-ridden, confusing, and completely misunderstood ideas in fitness and shed incredible light on it. Stretching is one of those areas that I just can't figure out why people can't use their own common sense to realize that most of the shit that strength and conditioning coaches are talking about, like don't stretch, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And then they try to like make it a little bit more liberal and say, well, you do stretch, but don't stretch before workouts and stuff. And then I stand here and I tell you, look, you need to stretch before fucking workouts. Yes, static stretch before workouts. Al is a little shaky on that one also, but maybe I'm wrong. Well, maybe. Static stretching in a corrective fashion. I often talk about that. I should probably write a book about that. Maybe Dragon Door will publish my corrective stretching book. But I believe in stretching. I believe in stretching so much that I spend a lot of my time doing it. I publish my own pictures. I upload them on Instagram of me stretching. In fact, I uploaded one of me doing the bow the other day, and Al has himself doing a version of the bow in this book. I want to just show you just how cool the pictures are in here and stuff, because unlike, some of the other stuff that you see out there, this is really high quality. Al's a super strong badass. Just a nice guy. Look at him out there doing squats with the chick with the purple hair. He's got to be a good guy. Look at that, man. This is some crazy shit. So anyway, a lot of the ideas in here are similar to yoga also. A lot of the stretches are yoga stretches without all the namaste. And because I often talk about yoga, I often talk about stretching, the importance of scientific stretching, taking your time, really treating it like it's training in and of itself. You know that I definitely recommend this book. And of course, because I'm a part of it, that's why I'm making this fucking video. Al must have known that. Elliott will make a video if I let him write the foreword, right Al? That's cool though. Hey, it worked, right? So anyway, of course I highly recommend you check out this book. And what I'm going to do, because Dragon Door is so cool to allow me to, is I'm going to scan the foreword to the book written by Elliott Hulse, and I'll put it in a blog post. You'll be able to read that down below. There's also a link there that if you purchase the book through it, I might get a commission. Now, I know there are some of you who, I think my prowlers are here. Some of you who get a little uncomfortable when monetary exchange is at play. If that's you, you can feel free to kiss my ass. But if you're one of those more intelligent people that realize how important education is and that this is an exchange of value and that's how the world works, then of course, please use my link down below, purchase, and I'll earn a little commission. I hope that helps you guys. I'll talk to you next time. Hey, what's up, man?